How to create an organization plan using SAP. In this session, I'm going to share with you how to do that. First of all, the transaction code to create an organization plan within SAP is PPOCW, right? So I have created the favorite here, and we're going to start from here. In case you don't have the favorite, you can do this. You can do a N or an O, right? N or an O, and then followed by the OCW transaction code, and hit enter. You will get the same thing, right? So I'm going to start from here. First thing SAP is going to ask you is for a validity period. Now, typically, organization plan is created for a validity period by default, because here is given an indefinite validity period. But in a typical situation, sometimes you may want to create an organization structure which is for the current process, and then you would create one with validity which is for the future, which will then contains the organization structure for the to be process kind of thing, right? So in this case, let's say I would specify one that is for the current. So here is the environment within the organization plan creation UI. Now, to create the top level organization unit, I would first do this. For the abbreviation, please use some kind of a convention to make it easy for you to search later on if you have to. And I would create let's say happy office equipment private limited, for example, and then click save. So in this way, I would have created my top level organization unit. Next, I could create department, and I use this create icon here to create. While highlighting this one means whatever I'm creating will be under this organization unit. So let's say I create a department, and to create a department, it is an organization unit, so I select organization unit, and I would use an abbreviation which is ST1S, for example. It's just kind of the notion for myself. This is happy. So I would use a happy to just denote as the string to make it easier for me to search later on also if I have to. It's not necessary you must have that, but you could just do like that, or you could do like this just to make it easier to search later on. Save. Okay, so I have a sales department now, and then supposedly I need to create another department under the Happy Office Equipment Private Limited. I will highlight the that level of the organization unit again, and I will click create. And this time around, I need to create another organization unit, and this will be, let's say, the manufacturing. Right, and I would use one. Replace this with your student ID, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever is your student ID, so that and some other abbreviations which will make it easier for you to identify or search for this organization unit later on. Okay, I would use ST1M. Okay, so you can see that in this way I have already created 2 organization units under the top level company. Now I could create a more organization unit under the sales department, and I do the same by highlighting sales department and then click create if I want to create more organization unit under there. Or I could create maybe like some other things, like for example a sales representative under the sales department. So I will click create, right? And for a sales representative, it is a position, so I will choose this. And I would use this conventions for the abbreviation, and I would say sales rep happy. Okay, and I would save it now. Okay, so now note that the staffing status right now is vacant, is open, right? So nobody is holding this position yet. Later on, I'm going to show you how to assign someone to it. So to do that, what you do is that you can choose a user, for example, and to do that, let me see. Under the user, for example, you can do a search term, and you can search for yourself. You can put your student ID here and do a find on the user, and now I have found 2 records here, of which I think only 1 record is a valid record, and I think this is the one. So I highlight it. Once it's highlighted, it will be in orange, and then I will click this column on the existence, and then I will then hold on to the click and drag it and place it right over the sales rep position, and it will prompt me now to say, okay, are you going to get Stanley to occupy this position, and starting from this date, the limit on. I will say yes. And now you can see that the holder position is being occupied. So that means this position is already occupied by someone, and you can see that it's all reflected under the hierarchy as well as under the view here, staffing status, right? So someone is already occupied, as you can see here under the holder, right? So this means someone is already occupying the position. Okay, and you save. Right, so this basically shows you how to create a position under the organization plan. Now a little bit further, you can do more by associating it with this position with a job as well, if you like, right? So job is different from position in a sense that a job is merely a generic specification of a piece of a role, right? Whereas a position is something that you can assign a person, right? Whereas a job is typically to be inherited or associated with positions. Okay, so multiple positions can be inheriting or associating with the same job specification. Okay. Now, before I do that, make sure I'm just going to go out from here, and the way to go out from here, the best way is to click this exit, because if you click any other things, chances are you may lose some of the things that you have done, right? So the best way is to use exit, whereby if still there are things to be saved, it will prompt you, do you want to save or not, right? And if there's nothing more to be saved, you already have saved everything, then it will just exit.